Lele Pons and Guaynaa. The untold heat behind their love story topped facts from the moment they appeared together. It was as if the universe itself tilted slightly to make room for a new kind of magic. Lele Pons, the fiery Venezuelan-American star with a smile that could disarm the hardest heart, and Guaynaa, the Puerto Rican sensation whose music made bodies move without permission, seemed like a pairing too explosive to be real. Yet, against all odds and amidst all the whispers, glances, and late-night conversations that never made the headlines, they wrote a love story that defied expectations. Their chemistry was palpable from the beginning, like static electricity lingering between two people who knew they were about to rewrite each other's destinies. Fans noticed the way Guaynaa's eyes followed Lele across crowded rooms, the way Lele's laughter softened whenever he was near. It wasn't just collaboration, it was creation, a wild fusion of two forces too strong to remain apart. Whispers began even before their first official collaboration. When the music video for Se Te Nota dropped, it became clear that what they shared couldn't be confined to the verses and choruses. Every stolen glance, every playful touch, every brush of fingers told a story deeper than lyrics could reach. Some claimed it was all an act for the cameras, a carefully choreographed performance meant to captivate an audience hungry for beautiful lies. But those who watched closely knew better. Real attraction, the kind that sears through layers of pretense, cannot be rehearsed. Behind closed doors, the rumors grew louder. Industry insiders whispered about afterparties where the two would vanish for hours, returning with flushed cheeks and unspoken secrets dancing in their eyes. Friends close to the couple told of nights when Guaynaa would serenade Lele under starlit skies, his voice raw with emotion, while she looked on as if he held the key to a part of her heart she had locked away for safekeeping. Their bond deepened as the world watched, sometimes approvingly, sometimes jealously. Jealousy wasn't foreign to either of them. They had spent their lives attracting envy in various forms, but together the attention became a crucible. Every moment spent apart fueled rumors of betrayal, while every appearance together ignited fantasies of a love too perfect for this imperfect world. There were darker whispers too, of course. Some claimed Lele's wild spirit clashed violently with Guaynaa's quieter soul behind the scenes. Heated arguments, slammed doors, passionate reconciliations. It was said that their love burned so brightly it sometimes scorched. Yet even these rumors painted a portrait of a relationship vibrant with life, refusing to settle into dull comfort. One of the most persistent stories spoke of a secret getaway, a stolen weekend at a hidden beach far from the flashing cameras and shouting crowds. Those who claimed to have glimpsed them said they looked happier, freer, and more vulnerable than ever before. They spoke of playful splashes in the surf, of lingering touches on sun-warmed skin, of laughter that blended so perfectly with the sound of the waves that it became impossible to tell where nature ended and love began. Their social media presence only fanned the flames. Every photo together was dissected, every caption analyzed for hidden meanings. Fans obsessed over matching outfits, synchronized dance videos, and candid moments that slipped through the cracks of their carefully curated lives. In every frame there was a sense of closeness so natural it almost hurt to witness, a reminder that some connections are simply meant to be. Still, the pressures of fame are relentless. Critics accused them of leveraging their relationship for clout, of turning intimacy into performance. Some pointed to the carefully timed releases of songs, the strategic appearances at awards shows, the playful interviews that seemed just a little too scripted. But the truth, if anyone bothered to look, was written not in their publicity stunts but in the stolen glances when they thought no one was watching. Friends of the couple have said that Guaynaa was drawn to Lele's fearless heart, her refusal to apologize for taking up space in a world that often demanded women shrink themselves. Lele, in turn, was captivated by Guaynaa's steady presence, his ability to ground her when the world became too chaotic to navigate alone. Together they created a rhythm uniquely their own, sometimes chaotic, sometimes tender, but always undeniably theirs. There was a famous incident at a private party, where Lele, emboldened by the intimacy of the night, grabbed Guaynaa by the hand and pulled him onto the dance floor. With no cameras, no obligations, no fans to please, they lost themselves in each other completely, moving as if no one else existed. It was said that in that moment, every bystander in the room knew the truth. This was no publicity stunt. This was the kind of love most people spend lifetimes searching for and never find out, of course. No love story this incandescent could escape turbulence. There were periods of tension, times when Lele's untamable spirit clashed with Guaynaa's need for steadiness. But even in their worst moments, those close to them insisted. Their love never waned. It bent, it strained, it fought against the weight of expectation and the brutal glare of public scrutiny, but it never broke behind the scenes. They crafted private rituals that tethered them to each other amid the madness. Secret notes tucked into suitcases before long trips. Midnight phone calls whispered between time zones. Hidden rendezvous in cities far from home, where they could walk hand in hand without fear of being recognized. In these quiet acts of devotion, they found the strength to keep building something beautiful as marriage rumors began to swirl, fueled by a particularly intimate Instagram post that showed Lele wearing what appeared to be an engagement ring. Speculation reached a fever pitch. Paparazzi scrambled for glimpses of wedding plans, while gossip columns invented elaborate backstories for proposals that may or may not have happened. Through it all, Lele and Guaynaa remained maddeningly coy, teasing their fans with half-truths and knowing smiles. There was something deliciously defiant about the way they refused to conform to anyone's expectations. They celebrated their milestones not with polished press releases but with chaotic, joy-filled bursts of authenticity that left no doubt. Whatever they shared was real, and it was entirely theirs. Even as they continued to chase their individual dreams, Lele branching into new creative projects, Guaynaa pushing musical boundaries, they remained each other's loudest cheerleaders. Their love wasn't about ownership or control. It was about witnessing each other's evolution with open hearts. Yet for all their openness, some mysteries remained fiercely guarded. What were those secret trips they refused to explain? What promises had they made in the dead of night, far from prying ears? And why, even after all this time, did it feel like the world had only glimpsed a fraction of the depth between them? In a world hungry for answers, Lele Pons and Guaynaa offered something infinitely more precious: wonder. They reminded us that love in its truest form cannot be captured fully by headlines, hashtags, or even the most intimate photographs. It lives in the spaces between words, in the touches too fleeting to be recorded, in the smiles that say more than any confession ever could. As their journey continues, one thing remains certain. Whatever storms may come, whatever new chapters unfold, Lele and Guaynaa have already created a story that will be whispered about for years to come. A story not just of passion and controversy, but of resilience, laughter, and the kind of connection that burns brighter with every passing day. And maybe that's the real secret, not the glamorous images or the scandalous rumors, but the simple, stubborn fact that two people found each other in a world designed to pull lovers apart, and chose again and again to stay. This has been another deep dive from Top Facts, where we uncover the stories too thrilling, too real, and too beautiful to be ignored. If you felt the electricity of Lele and Guaynaa's story in your soul, stay tuned, because the truth behind the headlines is always far more captivating.